thumbs up like so. So I know we are with me and you can hear me loud and clear. Brilliant, brilliant. See, before I even say anything or do anything, if you are here right now at this time, I want you to type I am lucky in the chat box because you don't even know that you are, but you would understand why I say you are very lucky to be here tonight, here with me. Type I am lucky. Just first type that, then we start this session. Okay, fantastic. Now, we're going to discuss something and we're going to do a little bit of practical. You would see something very amazing. But before all of that good stuff, I'm super excited myself. But before all of that good stuff, my name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I'm the COO here at Nebiant Analytics. I manage operations, and I also work as a data analyst and a data scientist. I've had the opportunity to work with top firms across the globe, mostly remotely from Lagos. I've worked with Alfa Romeo in the US, an Italian-based company, worked with their US branch as both a data analyst and a data scientist. I've also had the opportunity to help quite a lot of people get into tech. So you are very lucky to be here, but that's not the reason why you are lucky. Okay, that's not the reason why you're lucky. So just calm down a little bit. Okay. Most of you are seeing Nebiant Analytics for the very first time. So if you are seeing Nebiant Analytics for the very first time, not seeing, okay, if you are joining us for the very first time in a session like this, type first timer in the chat box. But if you've joined any of our sessions in the past, type regular. So I know who I have in tonight's session. Okay, first timer, who else? Who else is a first timer? Let me see it in the chat box. Type first timer in the chat. If this is not your first time, type regular. Okay, quite a lot of first timers. That's brilliant. Now, fantastic. In today's session, we're going to be doing some tests. We'll run some tests live. And what we're going to be testing is AI. So they say AI is very smart. Okay, is that true? We're going to test that. But for the sake of those who are joining us for the very first time, Nebiant Analytics is an edtech firm. And what we do here is to help Africans get into the tech space. And the reason is because as an African myself, I knew the hurdles I had to go through to break into tech. And after breaking into tech, and mingling and mixing with the white folks, the Indians, after working with them for quite a number of years, I have discovered that the reason it is difficult for us to get into the tech space is because we do not have access to premium tech training. Plus, we most often choose the wrong career path. Those are the two reasons. Here at Nebiant Analytics, we exist to correct that. And we've highlighted 3 career paths for you: data analytics, data science, or business analysis to choose from. I'll go into details later. But we came here for something, right? We came here to test how smart AI really is. So how many of you, by now, you should know what AI is? At least when they say AI, even if you don't know the full definition, you know what AI is. Am I wrong? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Do you know what AI is? Do you know what AI is? Okay, brilliant. All right, somebody's asking. So if you have any questions, don't worry, I'll answer the questions later. Okay. But just stick around long enough and you know whether this is for you or not. Okay. Artificial intelligence, fantastic. Now, how many of you believe that sometime AI will replace you where you are working? So eventually, if you believe that eventually AI is going to practically do all of our jobs, how many of you believe that AI is eventually going to do all of our jobs and we'll be left jobless, and AI does all the work? Okay, Smart. I like that statement. AI cannot replace humans. I love that statement. Do you know why? Okay, most people don't believe that. All right. Um, somebody say AI will not replace me. All right. So, brilliant. Some people are scared. Okay. In fact, I've heard people say AI will not replace me, but deep down, they believe that AI sometime is going to be able to do their job, and they may likely not have that leverage anymore. Okay, but today we want to put AI to the test. All right, we want to put AI to a real test. Guess what I'm going to do? I am a data analyst. I know my job, right? I'm a data analyst. I know my job. I want to put AI to the test. Can AI really do my job? How many of you find this interesting? I want to I want AI to do my job, and let's see, can AI actually do my job? How many of you are excited to see that? Who is excited to see that? Who is excited to see that? Brilliant, because we're going to go practical. Okay, so the first thing I want us to do is I'm going to share my screen, and if you can see my screen, okay, if you can see my screen, all right, type crystal clear. And guys, you may want to hold on to a pen and paper very close by. Guess what? Because you are going to be learning a host of um things in tonight's session. You're going to learn about data privacy, you're going to learn about some AI ethics, and of course the practical itself. All right. So, and I would be using a data set tonight. I'll be using a data set tonight. I would also be sharing that data set with you if and only if you fill out the attendance form. So, as the session is going on, you will see an attendance form posted by one of my colleagues, Enquiries Nebiant. All you need to do is to click on the link, fill out the attendance form. Once we capture your details, my slides, the data set, as well as the recording of this session will be sent to you so that you can try this out on your own using the same data set that I used in tonight's session. All right. So if you think that's interesting, fill out the attendance form in the chat box once it's available, and be rest assured that you get all of the information that I talked about. So without any your colleague or AI, somebody's asking if AI is going to send you the attendance form in the link. So you can take a wild guess. Okay, it could be AI, it could be my colleague, but nonetheless, you get the attendance form. So I think the most important thing is filling it out and worry less about AI. Okay, so and I've introduced Nabiant Analytics. Let's go to what we came here for today. The first thing is we're going to put AI to the real test. We're going to feed it a real data set, see how it performs, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail about what I talked about, Nabiant Analytics, and how we've helped people get into the tech space, and of course some special announcements, and we'll have a Q&A at the end of the session. So if you want to ask me any questions about anything I've done tonight or anything about tech at all you need to do is to stick till the end, and you'll get the opportunity to ask me your questions. All right. So I did an analysis, very recently about AI. So I analyzed about 1,000 jobs on LinkedIn to really see how AI has become very popular in the job market space. Are recruiters asking for AI? What kind of AI tools are they asking for? And I discovered that ChatGPT is the most popular AI tool um, required of any tech professional by a recruiter. Isn't that interesting? So I want to ask you, how many of us are familiar with ChatGPT? How many of you are familiar with ChatGPT? Because we're about to get into the real deal of today. If you are familiar with ChatGPT, Type 10 in the chat box. Type 1 and 0, 10 in the chat box. Let me know you're familiar with ChatGPT. Okay, quite a number of tens, quite a number of tens in the chat. So I can safely say that majority of us are familiar with ChatGPT. But how many of you have used it before? Have you used it for anything whatsoever? ChatGPT. Have you used it before? I have. I have. Yes. Okay, brilliant. Good. So it means you are already embracing AI. Okay, because guess what? AI is here to stay. All right. AI is here to stay. Somebody said very good use. That they make very good use of ChatGPT. Somebody said I extremely have. All right. So let's do this together. So I came here with a real data set. You can see I have not told you anything about the data set. Okay. Which I will do in a little bit. And then we'll give this data set to ChatGPT. And let's see what ChatGPT can do with the data set. Okay. Then if time is on our side, okay, we would probe, all right, what ChatGPT has done. Somebody said currently using it for school project. Be very careful, Kayode. Be very careful, because if your lecturers catch you red-handed, you have some explanations to do. Okay, so use AI responsibly. And talking about using AI responsibly, it is part of some of the things we'll learn today. Okay, you don't just take things and stick it into AI. You need to be very, very careful and ethical about it, which is part of the things we'll be learning in a little bit. Now, this is a data set. I've embedded the data set here. So if you fill out the attendance form, you will get access to my data set, but I can still share the data set alone right now with you, so that in case you want to follow me right now, um you will be able to do that. Okay, you will be able to do that. So allow me to paste. Let me paste. So the attendance form is in the chat box. You can see inquiries, Nabians, with a little message there and the link to the form. And then I'll also share the link to the data set. Okay, the data set. All right, that's the link to the data set. I'm sending that to the chat box now, so you can have a look at that. So here is what I'm going to do right now. I'll show you how to download a copy of the data set. Okay, I'll show you how to download a copy of the data set, so that when you're using it, on your own with the recording of the session, for those of you who fill out the attendance form and get the recording of my slides, you'll be able to you'll be able to do whatever it is I'm going to be doing today on your own. So let's get into it. Now, when you click on that link, it's going to bring you here. Okay, it's going to bring you here to this page that you can see on my screen. All right, so what you can see here is, you can see the title of the data set is Grandi's Banking Group. Grandi's Banking Group. Okay, and it has two sheets, the main data and the location data. The main data and the location data. Now, the main data consists of location ID. That's the unique identifier for the location. You have the year, you have the month, you have the number of mobile app transactions, you have the number of on-site transactions, meaning the customers went to the bank. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? And then you have a column that pretty much sums up both transactions. Okay, and then you have location data. Now, why do we have location data? B001 actually means north. B002 actually means west. B003 actually means east, stands for east. B004 south. B005 central. 006 northeast, southeast, and south-south. So we have these zones or regions, okay, in the location table. While we have the main data here. Now, in the main data, you don't have north, you don't have south, you don't have all of that, right? What you have is the location ID. So since we have the location ID in the main data set, we can easily match it to this, right? And know that, oh, this is for north, this is for whatever it is, east or west, depending on what B002 is. This is west, fantastic. So it means sometimes we would have to combine these data sets, or at least we know that this is north, this is west, this is east, this is south, and so on and so forth. Are we together, guys? Are we together? Are we together? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? All right. So to download this data set, easy peasy. All you need to do is to click on File on the top left corner. Click on File. Once you click on File, okay, you see Download, 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 and you can download. You can click on Microsoft Excel. Once you click on Microsoft Excel, it's going to download to your local drive. You can see that has been downloaded. All right, it has been downloaded. One download in progress. If I click on it, you can see it is downloading, and boom, it is done downloading. It is done downloading. Grandy's Banking Group. Okay, Grandy's Banking Group. So I have it in my downloads now. So I am good to go. Guess where I'm gonna go next? I'm going to open Chat GPT. So let's put Chat GPT to the text. I'm excited. I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready for this. So I'm going to open up Chat GPT. Okay. I would open up Chat GPT. So to open up Chat GPT, you can easily just search Chat GPT. Okay. Or you can search Chat GPT if you've already opened it before, and that will take you to Chat GPT itself. Okay. Now, if this is the first time you are opening or you're coming to Chat GPT, it may require that you log in. Okay, it may require that you log in. But yeah, you're welcome to ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT let me even ask. If you are here tonight and this is the first time you are seeing ChatGPT or you're hearing about ChatGPT, type I in the chat box. If this is the first time you're hearing ChatGPT, type I. Okay, brilliant. Samuel Peter. Okay. All right. So for those of us who are hearing ChatGPT for the first time, do you use WhatsApp? Do you use WhatsApp? And if you use WhatsApp, are you familiar with Meta AI on WhatsApp? Are you familiar with Meta AI on WhatsApp? Now, this is to those who are not familiar with ChatGPT. Are you familiar with Meta AI on WhatsApp? Samuel Peter, are you familiar with Meta AI? Oh, you're not familiar with Meta AI as well. Brilliant. All right. So, Samuel, I recommend you start looking into AI. Okay. That's where the world is going to now. But ChatGPT is a chatbot, a robot that chats with you. All right. And it is the most intelligent robot out there right now. Okay. It has access to a very huge library of knowledge, and it has the ability to generate stuff. So combining those two things, it is a very powerful tool for you as a professional, as a person, in any walk of life that you find yourself. So, but let's put it to the test today. I'm going to give it that data set and let's see what it can do. Okay. But there is something called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering. Whatever message I send to ChatGPT is called a prompt. What did I call it, guys? It is called a prompt. And you must be highly efficient with your prompts else you get garbage. So ChatGPT is actually garbage in, garbage. Who can complete it for me? Garbage in, garbage. Wants to complete it for me? Out. Fantastic. So it is garbage in, garbage out. If you give it rubbish, it will give you what? Rubbish. If you give it something awesome, it will give you something fantastic. So it is garbage in, garbage out. Okay, it does not have a mind of its own. It is an AI. So now we are going to give it a data set, but you would notice that Mohammed is not rushing to give it the data set. Why is Mohammed taking his time? Why is Mohammed taking his time? Now, before you can give ChatGPT a data set, either you're working or you have a client, you're working on their data and what have you, you're working in a firm and you are making use of their data, you're analyzing their data. Do you just come to ChatGPT and paste the data set there? The answer is no. It is unethical to do that. Are you with me, guys? It is unethical to do that. Okay? What you should do is first, you must answer this question. Does my data have PII? Does my data have PII? Who knows what PII is? PII is personally identifiable information. Personally identifiable information. It pretty much explains itself, correct? Or do I still need to explain it? Personally identifiable information. Fantastic. So if your data has PII, you need to do a host of things. Okay, you need to do something, not a host. Okay, you need to do something, but it has a host of names. So there is something we call data masking. Data masking. You must mask that PII in your data. Say, for example, you have name, location, age of customers in your data. You must codify, you must pseudonymize, you must what's it called, tokenize that aspect of the data. So it's pretty much using a generic stuff for the data. For example, you have my name, Mohammed Suleiman, my age, and all of those good information in your data. You can't just stick that data into ChatGPT. You must convert my name, for example, to user 001. The next person becomes user 002. And you have that information with you. You don't share that with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT really does not know who user 001 is, who user 002 is. So never, ever, never, ever, ever share a data that contains PII with ChatGPT. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Have I made my point? Fantastic. Now we are going to put the data set in ChatGPT. So the data set I'm putting in here, okay, as and the safest thing to do is to even remove PIIs, okay. But there are ways to tokenize or pseudonymize or what's it called, to data mask, encrypt. Fantastic. This data before putting it in. All right. So here's what you're going to do. Okay. I'm going to tell ChatGPT that I would give it a data set. I will give you, okay, that's caps lock. I will give you a data set and you will go through it. You will come up with an explanation of the columns, and I will ask you questions about the data. Also prepare to visualize the answers to my question. Now, ask me for the data set. So now, this is a typical prompt. Okay, this is a prompt. Why must you not give it containing PII? So somebody's saying, um, uh, okay, you are asking question. Okay, it's a sensitive question. So normally I'll wait till the end of the session to answer. But let me answer you. Okay, very quickly. The reason you don't want to give PII to ChatGPT is because you don't just trust any platform with your personal information. Okay, this is AI. AI knows PII when you share it with it, and this could be harvested. You do not know if you've ever received a random call, okay, and you're wondering where did this person get my data. These are channels that your data could be harvested. Okay, so you need to be very careful when you share sensitive data. That is of your own self. Talk less of customers that have data with your organization. So it is unethical. It could even lead to legal actions, in dire cases. So for security, for privacy, please do not share PII with Chat GPT. Is that clear? Fantastic. I hope that's clear now. So now what I have done here is write a prompt. Now this prompt is an instruction given to the AI. Okay. And you would notice that at the end of the prompt, I've told it explicitly what I want it to do. Now ask me for the data set. Normally, I don't need this line. Normally, I don't need this last sentence. But the reason I have put it is because there is something called AI hallucination. AI hallucination. There are some times that you could write this same prompt and it will just analyzing data for you. Data that you've not given it, it will start analyzing it for you. And that's just the inherent nature of GPTs, generative models, and the likes. Their ability lies in their strength lies in generating. So don't be shocked when it hallucinates as if you've given it the data when you haven't. So in order to prevent AI hallucination, it is very good that your last sentence should be the next thing you want it to do. Am I clear? Are you learning something already? Are you learning something? This is prompt engineering you are learning. You're learning premium prompt engineering. Okay, so clap for yourselves, guys. So you want to prevent AI hallucination with this last statement. So normalize it. When you write a prompt, your last statement should be what you want it to do next. Great. Now, I would send this, and you see that I can now predict the response of the AI. It is going to tell me that, oh, it understands this and that. Now, give me the data set. So let's wait for it to generate. Let's wait for it to generate and see what it comes up with. Let's wait for it to generate and see what it comes up with. So it said, great. Please go ahead and upload the data set you'd like me to analyze. Once I have it, I'll explore the data set and provide a clear explanation of each columns. I'll be ready to answer your questions you ask about the data and prepare visualizations to support each answer and insight. Kindly upload the file now. So now the response of the AI is more predictable because you have carefully engineered your prompt. Now, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to upload the data set by using this plus sign right here. I'm going to click on plus. I'm going to click on add photos and files, and that would open up my files. So I'm going to go to my downloads, and this is Grandi's banking group. Grandi's banking group data. So I'm going to click on that. I'll click on that and click on open. I'll click on open. And once I do that, It's going to upload the data set into the it's going to upload the data set into Chat GPT. Again, mind you, I am stressing this because of ethical issues. You do not upload any data set containing PII into Chat GPT, not even yours. Okay, it is unethical. You do not do that. All right, so I hope I made my point clear. So now that we have this, okay, now that we have this, it's still uploading. Okay, it's still uploading. Permit me to check my network. Guys, confirm you can hear me, you can see me, and you can see my screen. Okay, confirm you can hear me, see me, and see my screen. It feels as if I have a slow network today. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, you can hear me, you can see me, and you can see my screen, right? But give me a second, to check for a faster network. All right, so let's see. Okay, this is a little bit slow. Let me see if I can get a faster, better network so that we can have a better experience. All right, all right. Confirm now that you can hear me. Confirm you can still hear me. Confirm you can still hear me, guys. Confirm you can hear me. Okay, this is much better. All right, I can feel this now. Brilliant. So now that we have this, okay, I've uploaded the data set, so I'm going to send it to ChatGPT. Okay, I send it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT opens up the data set. Can you see that same data that I saw? Okay, that same data that we saw together, you can see it in ChatGPT now. So ChatGPT is unraveling the data set and it is still working. So let's be patient a little bit for it. Okay, let's be patient for ChatGPT and let's see what it comes up with. Let's see what it comes up with. So ChatGPT is unraveling the data. Okay, ChatGPT is going through the data, it is studying it. Let's see what it comes up with. One moment. All right. So you can see the data sets, practically everything inside of the data. You can see that. Okay. So let me test this again. All right. Usually it's a lot faster than this, but we'll just be patient with it to see how it plays out. All right. So this is ChatGPT looking into the data set. Okay. And once it's done with this, we can then go on to start asking it questions. Okay. And it already knows that, oh, whatever questions I ask, it should show me a chart. Okay. Visualizing the data. All right. So that we know that, oh, you really um, analyzed the data. Okay, I'm just gonna put a stop to this, and okay, so let us redo this. Okay, let's redo this. I'm not sure why it's taking time. Okay, it's taking time. So let's quickly redo this. Okay, let's quickly redo this. Not sure why it's taking so much time. Okay. All right, data analysis and visualization. Okay, data analysis and visualization. I'll give you a data set, you go through it, come up with this. Okay, fantastic. So now let me upload again. Let me upload again. All right, let me upload again. And see if it acts faster. All right, let's see if it acts a bit faster. Okay, so now I am re-uploading. Now I am re-uploading. Let's give it a moment. Now I am re-uploading. Okay, now I am re-uploading. So once it's done uploading, I'll send it again and let ChatGPT go through it. Unable to upload. Okay, brilliant. Let me try one more time. I am definitely sure this is some kind of network issues. All right, so let's try one more time. One more time. Okay, now it's uploaded. Brilliant. So let's send it this time. Okay, it should read it a lot faster now. Analysis post. Okay, so go ahead to let's go ahead to use, so it has paused the analysis. Okay, I'll just do one last refresh, guys. Bear with me. One last refresh. Guys, bear with me. One last refresh. Um, okay. So say let us continue. Okay, let us continue and let's see. So it has continued analyzing. So here it's paused the analysis. So I've put let us continue. So the Excel file, okay, so it has continued. Now it says the Excel file contains two sheets. The main data, likely the primary data set would explore, location data, possibly supplementary information about location. Now it's saying, oh, next to load and examine the data sheet, the main data sheet and the likes. Now it has spotted the columns, location ID, unique identifier for each banking location, year, the calendar year of the transaction, month, the month corresponding to the recorded data, mobile application, mobile app transactions, number of transactions conducted via mobile app banking, on-site, number of transactions conducted physically at the bank, all total number of transactions, likely the sum of mobile and on-site. And it's telling me you can now ask any questions about this data set. Once you do, I'll analyze the data and provide visualizations to support the answer. Now, you may be wondering, how is ChatGPT able to read data sets? How many of you want me to show you the secret behind how ChatGPT is able to read documents? Fantastic. Let me quickly show you before I start asking it questions. Can you see this little code signal here? You see this little icon right here that says view analysis. This little icon. This little icon is what you call code interpreter in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is able to treat files, okay? It treats files in such a way that it actually writes codes at the back. It does not show you. It will write it at the back, and then it is able to understand the result of the code, and that's why it's able to tell you about the data set. So if I click on this view analysis, it's going to show me the code it wrote. You can see how short this code is. Okay, it uses Python code to read your data set. You don't have to bother about the Python code. Okay, you can see it uses Python code to actually read the data set, and because it does that, it is able to also visualize. So, but let's go ahead and ask questions. So, I want it to show me. Let us compare. Okay, mobile app transactions and on-site transactions over time, shall we? So, can we compare? Can we compare mobile app transactions versus on-site transactions over time? Okay, can we compare? So I ask you this question, okay, and it starts to analyze. All right, it starts to analyze, and then let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. It's analyzing. It's analyzing. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. Fantastic. So you can see what do we have here, guys? We have a chart. Clap for ChatGPT. We have an actual chart. Mobile app versus on-site transactions over time. And ChatGPT was able to visualize the data. It converted the data in such a way that, look, you have mobile app transactions up here and on-site transaction down. You can see the legends, the color coding. The yellowish one is for mobile app transactions, while the orange one is for on-site transactions. And you can see that from 2017 to 2020, about 2024, okay, you have on-site transactions steadily growing, especially between 2023 and 2024. There is a significant growth in on-site transactions. But you would notice that in the mobile app transaction, yes, from year 2017 to 2024, it has effectively increased, but you notice that it is acting like a heartbeat. How many of you can see that flow? It is acting like a heartbeat. Can you see that? Now, let me teach you something about data, okay? And I want you to thank me later. If you ever analyze data and you see the chart acting like a heartbeat, it means that the data has seasonality inside of it. Seasonality. It means there is a pattern, okay, that repeats itself in that data. And that means there is seasonality in the data. Am I making sense? Am I making sense, guys? It means there is seasonality in the data. Okay, and you can see ChatGPT goes on to um you know uh analyze, I mean give you insights into the data, and it's asking you, do you want us to go further? But how do we know this is really correct? Or do we just take this hook, line, and sinker and that is it? Do we take it hook, line, and sinker and that is it? No, we aren't. We aren't going to do that. Let's analyze this data ourselves in Excel and see if we get the same result. Okay, let's analyze this data in Excel and see if we get this same result. Okay, now let's go to Microsoft Excel. All right, and this is where you, being a professional, you are able to validate, okay, really what ChatGPT has done. So let us open up the data set in Excel. Okay, I'm going to open up the data set in Excel. All right, let's open up the data set in Excel. Okay, I'll open up the data set in Excel and would analyze. So this is the data set. Okay, this is the actual data set. I hope you can see my screen, guys. I hope you can all see my screen. This is the data set. Okay, and in the next 10 minutes, we'll try to create that same chart. Okay, looking at the trend of mobile app versus on-site transactions over time. How do we do that? Guys, if you want to analyze data in Excel, one of the first things you want to do is to convert your data set into an Excel table. If you can't see my screen, it's likely your network. If you can see my screen, please type, I can see your screen. I can see your screen, so that Matthew knows that it's a problem from their end. And do well to fill out the attendance form. It's in the chat box. Click on that link, fill out the attendance form so you can get my slides, the recording, as well as the data set. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic, Shedrack and the rest of us who can see my screen. If you can't see my screen, please, you may want to log out and then log in and see if that fixes the problem. Now, as I was saying, we open the data set in Excel. Okay, we want to test. We said we want to test AI, right? So let's analyze it ourselves and see if we get the same thing. The first thing you want to do to your data set in Excel is turn it into an Excel table. Now, most of us may have used Excel. You may have used Excel before. I'm not even going to bother asking you. Some of you may have, opened the Excel, or even if you've not used Excel before. Today, know that if you want to analyze data in Excel, you must convert it to a table. How do you do that? Click anywhere inside of the data, not outside, but inside. Not outside, but inside of the data, where you have data. Anywhere, pretty much anywhere, and do a Control T, T for table, on your keyboard. Control T, T for table. Okay, now when you do a Control T, you notice that your data, something like ants, are moving around your data. Okay, and then you see create table dialog box, and it says, where is the data for your table? Please don't touch that. Then it's going to ask you, my table has headers. Please click on yes, because your table actually has headers, so that it will treat the first row as headers. And then you click on OK. You click on OK. Now, once you do that, you see a color code. Okay, you see a color code appear on your data set. Okay, now we didn't convert to a table because of color. Okay, this is not why we did that. We converted it because of the extra functions that come with Excel table. Now, once you convert this to an Excel table, you will see table designs on the top, at the top. Can you see this? Table designs. Table design. You see table design right here. Table design, where my mouse is dancing. I'll click on table design. And when you do that, you want to direct your gaze to the far left. On the far left corner, you see table name. So the next thing you want to do is to change this name to a name that you can remember easily and you can work with. By default, you're going to have table 1. So I'm going to click in that box and type data. Okay, you can pretty much name it anything you want. You can type Gwagwalada, you can type Kotungarfi, you can type Mississippi, whatever you want to give it, please. But just know that the longer the name, the harder it is for you. Okay, so I like something simple, short, and something I can remember. My head is not a computer. So if you have a computer brain, please, you can make it a little bit more difficult for yourself. But that's just on a lighter note. All right. So once you type data, hit enter. I love to use data because it is easy to remember. Now, you see this space on my right hand side. Okay, I want to use it to create that chart, and let's see what happens. Okay, now before I can create a chart, I must create what we call a summary table. This summary table actually answers the question I want to ask. Who can remind me the question? Who can remind me what question we asked ChatGPT and it gives that visualization? Not word for word, okay? Not word for word, but who can remember what we asked ChatGPT essentially? Who can remember that? Please just type it in the chat. Just type it in the chat. Okay, just type it in the chat. We asked it that it should tell us, it should compare the mobile app transactions and the on-site transactions, right? Exactly. Comparison of transactions. Exactly. Okay. On-site and mobile app transactions. That was what we asked. Simple, easy. So now we would answer that question using summary tables, and then we visualize it. Summary tables, guys, you are learning a lot in this session. I'm just giving you a whole lot. So summary tables in Excel are known as pivot tables. What did I say? Summary tables in Excel are known as pivot tables. So let's create one. So how do I create a pivot table? I'm going to teach you a shortcut. To create a pivot table, a summary table, you just hold Alt NVT on your keyboard. Alt NVT, that's a shortcut. Alt NVT. You hold your Alt and you tap NVT. N for net, V for van, T for table. Alt, hold your Alt, NVT. So I'm going to hold my Alt key, NVT. and something fantastic appears on my screen. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen, so you may want to check your network. So now, when I tap Alt NVT, pivot table appears. Okay, the pivot table dialog box appears, and it's asking me what is the name of the table I want to summarize. Remember, summary tables are known as pivot tables, right? So ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, Excel. We are in Excel now, not ChatGPT. Okay, Excel now is asking me what is the name of my table. Who can remind me the name that I gave my table again? Let me know if you are following me. Who wants to remind me the name? Fantastic, data. So I'm just going to type data. I'm going to type data. Okay, I'll type data and hit OK. I won't touch any other thing. Just type data, touch nothing else, click on OK. Now, once I click on OK, it creates a pivot table, a blank pivot table for me, but I want to direct your gaze to the right-hand side. I really hope you can see my screen. I really hope you can see this. Okay, I really hope you can see this. All right, so what I have here is what we call pivot table fields. Now if you look at this, I have location ID, year, month, mobile app transactions, on-site transactions, all transactions, pretty much the column headers in my data set. Can we all see that? Can we all see that? I have that on the right hand side here. Now, I can now select what I want into any of these boxes to help me summarize the data. So, the first thing I want to select is year. I want to select year. Now, when I select here, what happens? Because years exist in numbers. Because years exist in numbers, Excel thinks it is money. Okay, Excel thinks it is money. So guess what it does? It adds up everything for me. Is that what we want? No, we want Excel to list the year, right? We want Excel to list the year, not add it up like money. Okay, so you can see Excel also likes money, like me and like you. So so now let us fix that. So why did it add it up? I want you to look down here. Look at the bottom right area of my screen. You would notice that when I selected here, Excel put it in the values box. I have 4 boxes here. I have the filters box, I have the columns box, I have the rows box, I have the values box. Excel automatically put it in the values box because it contains numbers. Now, if I want Excel to list something for me, okay, I take it to the rows box. So I'm going to put my cursor on sum of years here and drag it into the rows box, and it will list out the years for me. Clap for me, guys. Can you see how we are bending Excel, guys? So now the next thing I want to do is I want each of these years to be broken down into the months. So I'm going to select month from the value field here. I'm going to select month. So the moment I select month, you can see month is now under the year, and each of the years now have January to December underneath. Okay, each of the years now have January to December underneath. Now, the next thing I'll do is now to select mobile app transactions. And you can see, of course, it is numbers, so it goes to the values box, right? And then I also select the on-site transactions, okay? And you can see I also have it under the values box. And now that I have this, I am free to turn it into a chart. And this is the moment of truth, the moment we've all been waiting for. Now, what I'm going to do is this. I want to turn this table into a chart now and see if it conforms with what we got in ChatGPT. So to turn this into a chart, I'll click on, and before you visualize, you need to ensure that you are on the pivot table. If you click outside, you may not be able to visualize it. You must click on the pivot table so that you can get the option to click on pivot table analyze tab here. Pivot table analyze. Many of us have been using Excel for years. Have you ever seen Excel? Have you ever used Excel for this before? Answer the question while we continue. Pivot table analyze. Click on pivot table analyze. And when you click on pivot table analyze, guys, you want to select pivot chart. You see option for pivot chart here. Okay. If you've not filled out the attendance, fill it out now so you can get the recording. You can replicate what I've done so far. You get the slides, you get the data set. All right. The attendance is in the chart. Click on the link, fill it out. Now you see pivot table analyze. Click on pivot table analyze. Now, when I click on pivot table analyze, I'm almost saying ChatGPT again. I beg your pardon, guys. So you see that Excel is suggesting that I use column charts, and that's why it is visualizing the data in this manner. You can see how clumsy it is, right? I don't want column. I want line. I want line. So I'm going to click on line. I'm going to click on line. And when I click on line, after clicking on line, I click on OK. Guys, does this look familiar? Let me increase it. Let me increase the size. Does this look familiar? Does it look familiar? Oh, it does, right? It does. Are you sure? Are you sure you are not making me feel good? You think this looks familiar? So let's confirm. Let's momentarily go back. Can you see this? And then this. Fantastic. So is ChatGPT accurate or not? This is the real question now. Is it accurate or not? You can see the same analysis, the same result. Okay, it took me less time and it was less technical on ChatGPT. Okay, but of course, you need skills to be able to validate using tools like Excel, Power BI, and the likes, right? But is ChatGPT accurate? You say it's very accurate. So, will ChatGPT take my job? That question I asked you at the beginning. Now I'm asking you again. Do you think ChatGPT can take my job? With what I've shown you today, you still don't think it will? Fantastic. If you think it will, type yes. If you don't think it will, type no. Okay. But guess what? ChatGPT can actually take your job. Okay, it can. And how ChatGPT will take your job is if you as a professional do not embrace ChatGPT. So people who can use ChatGPT will actually replace you. If you think, oh, I can do this on my own in Excel, guess what? Another data analyst like you who can use ChatGPT would deliver what you take 6 months to do in 1 week using ChatGPT. 6 months of worth of work will be done in 1 week, if not a day. So recruiters and tech professionals, and tech companies or any organization that requires data analysis want to work with speed. So this is the future of the data career path. So, but the first thing is you need to be grounded in understanding the basic data analytics skills before you can even tell whether ChatGPT is doing the right thing or not. Okay, you can't just go to ChatGPT because once it acts erratically and hallucinates, you are in trouble. Okay, so you need to constantly ensure that as a professional, you are skilled enough to be able to direct and point ChatGPT in the right direction. Are we together? So you can see the same seasonality we have here was what we got in Excel. Can we all see that? So now that we've established that, look, as a professional, you need to actually know how to use ChatGPT efficiently so that you can future proof your career. Then we've been able to establish, it means we've been able to establish that ChatGPT will only replace you using another person like you. Okay, using another person like you. So if you've been running away from AI simply because you think, oh, it will replace you, please don't. Embrace it, because um, in a very near future, when I say near future, I'm talking about 6 months, next year, um, you would see roles that, in fact, you already have those roles, but they will become more popular, and it would force you as a tech professional to get skilled in ChatGPT. So why not take that initiative? All right, take that initiative now and get yourself started. So, as an African talent, you don't just pick a career path. There are so many career paths out there. You have cybersecurity, you have software development, you have web development, you have software engineer, so many career paths. But do you want to go into a career path that sounds nice, it sounds interesting, and then get stuck competing with Indians? Or you'd rather go for a career path that gives you a realistic chance of actually breaking into tech and earning this tech money? Which one will you choose? I want to hear from you. Which one will you choose? I beg your pardon? Which one will you choose? Do you want a career path that sounds nice, but you end up competing with Indians, wasting your time? Or you want a career path that gives you a realistic chance of getting into tech? Fantastic. Now, in that case, you as an African, to get a realistic chance into tech, you need to look at some kind of career path, and they are data analytics, data science, or business analysis. Now, I'm going to take the next 10 minutes, okay? Um, the next 10 minutes to explain to you each of these career paths. Okay, but you may be wondering why. Okay, why these three career paths? It's very easy. It's because they are easy to learn. Pretty much anybody can jump on it and learn it. It's easy to transition because the market now, the market now is demanding for data professionals, and they have fantastic career paths. Okay, especially if you're living in Africa. Okay, and you're looking to work remotely. So, with that in mind, with this in mind, I want us to take a look at, this is just more information talking about the projections. I won't bore you with all of that information. But you want to know more about these three career paths, okay? To be able to build, amazing projects like this and have it in your portfolio so you can showcase it to potential recruiters. Because when you can showcase a project like this to potential recruiters, then you get a realistic chance of getting into tech. All right. So let us go into some of the details. Okay, but this is Ugochi. All right. I just said, you know what, let me mention Ugochi. Ugochi got a job very recently, and she let us know that she got a job. She joined our program, specifically the business analysis career path, and she got this particular job. Okay, working as a business analyst at Marite Consulting. Now, Ugochi had a portfolio, and I want to show you Ugochi's portfolio. And when you get this slide, I want you to click on that link so that you can see Ugochi's portfolio as well. Okay, I want you to see Ugochi's portfolio as well. Now, this is Ugochi's portfolio. It is an open link. Let me share it with you in the chat so you can see it as I am seeing it also. So Ugochi joined our program and we walked her through how to create this portfolio. She created it. You can see a little bit about her. And down here, it says, check out my portfolio. So when you click on that, it takes you to Ugochi's portfolio page. And this is where the beauty is. Guys, I want you to take a moment to appreciate the level of um, um, you know, projects that Ugochi was able to work on and put in her portfolio. Can we all see this, guys? Can we all see this? These are projects she worked on using Excel, okay? Excel. Some she used Power BI, some other tools, to build all of these amazing projects. So tell me, as a recruiter, you are looking for somebody who is skilled, and then you see this kind of project, what will you do? Would you hesitate in calling this person for an interview at least? At least for an interview? Of course they will. And that was the turning point for Ugochi, as is all of the people who have gotten jobs so far after joining our program. So let's look at the different career paths very briefly in the next 10 minutes. Let's look at each of them. Let's start with the data analyst. What's the job of the data analyst? I love to call the data analyst as the storyteller. They tell stories. Okay. And how do they tell stories? They go into an organization, get hold of their data, summarize it into charts, somewhat what we did earlier today. They summarize it into charts and visuals, telling a story that, oh, we noticed that there is a pattern in your mobile app transactions. Are you with me, guys? Okay, we noticed there is a pattern. I noticed that there is a pattern, in your mobile app transaction. There is no way the organization would have known without analyzing the data, one way or the other. Okay. But to shed more light on what the job of a data analyst is, we have 4 types of analytics: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Now, you see the first 2 types, descriptive and diagnostic analytics. That is the job of a data analyst. Descriptive and diagnostic. Descriptive is pretty much the storytelling aspect, while diagnostic is also explaining why those things happened. You've been able to explain, you've been able to tell a story of what happened. Now, why did they happen? It's still your job to answer as a data analyst. Okay? But to be successful as a data analyst, you need to know Excel that we use today. You need to know SQL. You need to know Power BI, Tableau, Local Studio, and of course, ChatGPT. You've seen the power of ChatGPT, so you need to learn ChatGPT as well. Okay, now that brings me to the job of a data scientist. Now, I love to call the data scientist as the inventor, and that's because they build stuff. But the question is, what do they build? The data scientists, they build what we call predictive models. So, when I was talking about the 4 types of analytics, I said that the first 2 belong to the data analyst, right? You're welcome. The second 2 belongs to the data scientist, predictive and prescriptive analytics. So as a data scientist, your job is to predict into the future what is likely going to happen. And you need to let your organization know about it. I beg your pardon, guys. Are we following? Are we following? Am I making sense? Are we following? Fantastic. So, but this prediction, you don't do the predictions yourself. You build AI models, predictive models that do the predictions for you. And your job as a data scientist is largely focused on interpreting the results of the predictive model. So you are so good at interpreting those results and make it make sense to your organization. And the prescriptive analytics aspect is you giving the next line of action to either ensure that your prediction happens or to avert that prediction, because predictions could be either positive or negative. So if it is negative, of course, you want to prevent it. If it is positive, you want to work towards it as an organization. All right. So that's what prescriptive analytics entails. Now, to be successful as a data scientist, you need to know Excel, Python. Of course, Python is what you use to build the predictive models, SQL, GitHub for version control, um, Tableau for data visualization and predictive analytics, and you also have ChatGPT. Now, the professionals that enjoy ChatGPT the most are data scientists. Okay, easily, without a shadow of a doubt. All right, data scientists enjoy ChatGPT the most. Okay, so um, let's go to the business analyst, and I hope you are trying to make a decision which of these career paths suits you the most, because that's the reason I am explaining. So the business analyst, I love to call them the translator. So what's the job of a translator? A translator understands two diverse languages, and when people in each of those languages want to converse with each other, not understanding the language of one another, then you need a translator in between, right? You need a translator in between, correct? Am I correct? Are we following? Fantastic. Now, such is the job of a business analyst. But let's put it into perspective. Now, as a business analyst, you go into an organization, okay? Say, for example, Jumia hires you as a business analyst rather, and then they tell you, oh, we want you to reduce our delivery time from 7 days to 4 days in the space of 3 months as a business analyst. Now, for you to achieve that goal, it may require that you build a new app or you revamp the already existing app, or one thing or the other. Now, whatever it takes to get that goal, okay, you will be spearheading that initiative. And it would mean that you get to work with technical and non-technical stakeholders, people who write the code to build the app, you work with them. People who would give you the specification of what the app should do, you work with them. These are technical and non-technical personnel. So you as a business analyst, you are going to be the best in mediating between both parties and leading that initiative. You will track, you will document, you would have meetings, and these days, recruiters are now looking for business analysts that also know how to handle data to a reasonable extent. They are not expecting you to be an expert, but they need you to understand how to analyze data to a reasonable extent. And for that reason, we included Excel, SQL, and Power BI as part of your business analysis curriculum to take you through the data knowledge needs that you need to compete favorably in the market. Okay, and then you have Miro for process mapping, Draw.io as well. You have Azure DevOps, is a cloud platform that allows you to collaborate with stakeholders and manage pretty much do everything you need to do as a business analyst. And then you have Jira for project management. Okay, and then you have ChatGPT, of course. Okay, you need to always embed ChatGPT to cater to the AI requirements that are sprouting up in today's job market. Okay, so now that we've explained all three, which of them do you see yourself as? I know you filled out the attendance form, you probably chose one already, but you can leave that aside. Now, this is me asking you, which one do you see yourself as? Do you see yourself as a data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst? Which one do you see yourself as? You can type in the chats, you can fill out the attendance form if you haven't already. Okay. Now, while that is going on, I can see data scientists in the house. Okay, I can see data analysts. Okay, and the likes. So one thing, one thing that you should know is this: Naomi did it. Naomi joined our program, and she joined us at a very critical time in her career. Okay. And I don't want to do the talking. Okay. I don't want to do the talking. I want you to listen to Naomi yourselves. Okay. I want you to listen to Naomi yourself. So you would hear Naomi in a little while. Okay. You would hear her out. And then I'll tell you some of the extra things Naomi got, okay, beyond just the technical aspect of the training that you also need, okay, to get into the tech space. All right. So uh, I would I would show you Naomi, and once you can hear her, I would want you to confirmed. Can we still hear me? I'm sharing my screen. So once I share my screen now, okay, I stop sharing momentarily so that you can I'll share again and you can listen to Naomi for just 10 minutes thereabout. And then we go back to some of the things that Naomi got. Okay, that as an African in tech, if you do not have it, okay, if you do not have it, then you are in for a big one. So you will hear Naomi in a little while. Okay, sorry about that.
Just last week, rather, 2 people landed a job. All right. There's someone that is meant to share a testimony with us. I don't know. Are you on the call, Naomi? Hi, Naomi. You can please turn on your video and unmute your mic. So you just talk to the house about your job learning process and how you're able to land your job and all of that.
Hi, good evening. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Naomi. Let me just start from the beginning. I'll try and be fast. In 2017, the bank, I live in a small country in West Africa where they speak French. And then my bank was acquired. And when the bank was acquired, the bank that bought over my bank now started laying off foreigners and all that. But for reasons known to them, I applied to go and they said no. So I was more like frustrated. I stayed with them. But I found out that as we are going forward, I'm being relegated to the background. As a supervisor, I had a lot of branches under me. I was supervising with over 65 staff. But I found out that they were trying to relegate me. I buried myself into training. I told myself I'm going to be so trained that I can conveniently work from home, because my idea after working in the bank for so many years was not to go sit or for interview work for someone else. I just wanted to do something on my own, get a job somewhere, do it online. And as I was doing those courses I started with the free courses from Harvard. I got a lot of certificates from there. And that was how last year, August, Nabians appeared on my feed. I looked at it, and that night they were having Lemoy was talking just like she's talking. I just joined, and I loved what she was saying. I said, this is like my problem is solved. Remote work, this is going to solve my problem. So I paid that night, and I paid the deposit for someone else too. So that's to show you how motivated I was. And I joined the course. The most amazing part of the course is the family part. It was just like we've known ourselves for years. The business analytics, we started as a general course, everybody together, and then we split to different courses after some weeks. It was so interesting, and I decided to encourage everybody in the group to follow up the course and finish. So almost all of us in the business analysis, we started and we finished. I followed the course religiously, because to me, this is life and death. At least I'm from Nigeria and I should prove myself. So I followed the course step by step. Went to LinkedIn, optimized my LinkedIn. I built my project. It was like building a website. I did everything line by line, point by point, and I started posting my profile. And when the 30 days the challenge came up and they said we should post every day for 30 days. Man, it was not easy, but I did it. As by the end of that, those 30 days, I moved my subscribers or my followers from 500 to 900 and something. And it's not easy, but just do it, you know. And as I was doing it, sometimes there was this post I made that did not get any click. No, it wasn't like, no like, but the impression was 16,000. I went somewhere, I just joined a group where I wanted to start posting blogs. Apart from my website, I wanted to be posting blogs on the platform. I saw one of the owners of the platform posted my post and made comments on that, used it to teach. I was so encouraged. So, long story short, I finished my training and we were about to start our internship. Human resource now called me and said, I should come and meet with them urgently. I said, this is why you're calling me for a meeting. I know when you call people, there's like a butcher house. What happened? They said nothing. I should just come. I went and they now started telling me that they've been watching me because the bank is restructuring again and we have to align with the head office in Cote d'Ivoire. So they had to create other departments. So suddenly, what my former boss said is unattainable for a Nigerian and Anglophone in a Francophone country. They now offered me. I said, why? So no, we created this department. We want you to be the head of the department. What I'm just saying like this, it's more like 5 steps ahead. I didn't know what to say. I said, okay, I will think about it. They said, no, don't think about it. Take it. Because I said, okay, is that going to be training? You know what they asked me? Which training do you want? You're the one that will train others. We've been looking at your LinkedIn. All things asking us to train. They are all on your LinkedIn. So you train others. When I was doing this, I never thought about anything. I never knew that Nabians is going to be a step for me to what I've been looking for since 2017. I was promoted, salary doubled, advantages tripled, and you can imagine where I am. And when they say luck is preparation, meeting opportunity, I was never thinking of this part. So I encourage everyone here to just take it seriously. LinkedIn is your best platform, free of charge. Just go there and charge yourself. Work on your portfolio. Just follow the steps. Everything you're being taught here, follow it one after the other. And the most amazing part is that every team member is ready to help. If you just reach out, they are ready to help. Even the ones you think they are disturbing you, they are there for you. So I just came in.
So you have heard from the horse's mouth. All right, that was Naomi speaking, sharing her experience, okay, about how she got her tech job. Okay, another thing Naomi had, just like Ugochi, she had portfolio. She optimized her profile. So you can see what that is. Now, very briefly, in 5 minutes, there is something these people got extra, and it is what we call our Nebians extra layered employability support. Now, what does this entail? Okay, it entails weekly guidance and mentorship, CV assessment, and job matching. You don't know what job matching is? It is when you want to apply to a job. You don't use one CV and apply to all the opportunities out there. You have to tailor the CV to the job, and AI can do it for you. We just finished using AI for data analysis. Is it applying to jobs AI will not be able to do for you? Of course it will. So that's what job matching is. You have LinkedIn profile revamp. I mean, Naomi already stressed LinkedIn. It is free of charge. Go there, use it to your advantage. Upwork profile. If you're looking to work with organizations that are mainly based in the US, Upwork is a platform to do that. And the irony about Upwork is that your CV is useless on Upwork. Okay, just to drive my point home. All right, you don't need your CV on Upwork. In fact, you'll be instructed, please do not upload your CV. Are you with me, guys? It is that stressed. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You have a lifetime interview preparation with us. Now, let me put this into perspective. You get a job or interview invite, you tell us, oh, I got invited for an interview. We prepare you ahead of the interview so you get an undue advantage. All right. And guess what? If you come tomorrow again and say, I have another interview, guess what will happen? we prepare you again for that interview. So it means if you get 10 different job interviews, who wants to echo it for me? How many times would you be prepared for an interview? 10 times. Exactly. All right. 10 different times. One for each interview. One for each interview. And guess what? As if that is not fantastic enough, you have a lifetime access to it. Meaning that even after your program has ended, if you ever come and tell us that, oh, look, I have an interview coming up, we'll prepare you for that interview simply because you now belong to our community here at Nabiat Analytics. And as a community member, you have the right to a lifetime interview preparation. You also have a lifetime access to all your training materials, because we know that your heads are not made of computer. Okay, so we provide a lifetime access to your training material, so you can always go back to it to refresh your memory. Okay, you also have a one month internship after the program and a lifetime access to recommendation letters. And we also have a lifetime access to our alumni mentorship. So these are the icing on the cake. I call it the icing on the cake. But even if this was the only thing we're offering you here at Nabiat Analytics, it is more than enough for you to get into the tech space easily. All right. Now let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Um, this is Helene Okai. I love to talk about Helene Okai because I was the one who prepared. She was one of the people that I had the honor of preparing a recommendation letter after she got an offer from a recruiter. She got an offer for a junior marketing analyst, and in the email, she was asked to provide a letterhead, preferably from her previous employer. And we act as a previous employer for our students, making it easy for our students to come back to us to ask for recommendation letters. And guess what? We do that in such a compelling manner that it seals the deal for our participants. Okay, and the program itself is a 3 month journey, 100% online, um, with a 1 month internship, like I mentioned earlier. Your classes are mainly on Saturdays where you get to cover practicals, real world practicals led by an expert in that field. So on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for 3 hours, you'll be neck deep into solving real world practicals as if you're already working on that job. Okay, and then on Sundays, you get what we call DID videos. Now, these are preparatory videos, and the idea is that these videos prepare you ahead of your next class on Saturday. All right, we are not expecting that you watch the videos and become experts, but the idea is you get, even if it's a faint idea, but what you're going to be doing in class. But the key thing is that you practice, you are not disconnected from that career path you're trying to get into, even through the week. So you get the videos on Sundays and you can spread it through the week ahead of your next class on Saturday. So when you come to class, you are not only able to participate, okay, in solving the real world problem, you understand why you are doing it. All right. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we meet with you, but these are not classes. Okay. On Tuesdays, we have what we call support sessions. Support sessions. Now, this support session is if you have any issues, maybe from the DID videos or the classes you've done, or you're just doing a self practice. Okay, you're practicing on your own, but you run into issues. This session is dedicated to answer questions. And even outside of this session, you belong in the same WhatsApp group with your instructor. So you can direct questions to them any day, anytime. All right. So, but we've set out this support session to be like a meeting point for you and your facilitator every week to ensure that you don't have any problems heading over to the next class. And then on Thursdays, 9 to 10 p.m., we have mentorship sessions. Mentorship sessions where we cover very deep topics as a tech talent, topics like imposter syndrome, how do you circumvent it? Topics like how do you negotiate a salary in a tech interview? How do you introduce yourself in a tech interview? How do you answer tricky questions? What's the mindset? Why do recruiters ask you certain questions? Okay, how do you answer the question? Oh, walk us through your CV. You go into an interview and HR tells you, kindly walk us through your CV. How do you answer that question? Do you pull out your CV and read everything verbatim, or do you do something different? So these are the things we get to discuss with you in your mentorship sessions, and we also have external experts who come speak with you during your mentorship sessions. You can see the full brochure here, um, and the like. These are some of our students and their portfolios, and some of them, like Daniels, he got a job as a data scientist. Oluwaseun got a job as a business analyst. Lebura got a job as a data analyst. Lebura's own was even 3 weeks into her program. 3 weeks, she posted one of her dashboards, and somebody DM'd her on LinkedIn, and it was a recruiter. That was her own story. So these are um, people who have taken the same steps that have led them to where they wanted to be financially. Okay, of course, you are not doing tech for the fun of it. You are doing it to give you that financial freedom you are craving for. Okay, and these are realistic steps that you can also take to get the same result. Now, these are more testimonials. Okay, especially if you want to see our latest testimonials, click on this button, and that will take you to our YouTube page, a comprehensive playlist of our most recent testimonials. Now, the next thing for you is, how do you get yourself started? Okay, and I have 57 people on the call right now. How many of you want to get started with the next class? Okay, and while you're answering that, this is Oluwaseun Ojo, got a job immediately after optimizing his LinkedIn profile. Okay, now our next class is starting on the 9th of August. On the 9th of August, you can actually get yourself started. Okay, this is a premium training program for people who want results. Okay, if you want results, you don't just want to learn something and when you're done, you're like, oh, I once learned data analytics, I once learned um, business analysis. If you are not that kind of person, you are a person who wants to learn something and start to make a living off of it, this is for you. On the 9th of August, our next class is starting. Okay, and how you can get into that class, all right? How you can get into that class is by paying attention to what I have to tell you now. Okay, now for you to get all the package that I've talked about, including all of the lifetime offers that I earlier discussed, price of the program, depending on which one you choose, is 250,000 naira. Now you can decide to pay once, you can decide to split it into two, or you can even decide to leverage our 3 installment package: 85,000, 85,000, 80,000, and you split the payment into 3 installments: 85,000 to get yourself started in August, another 85,000 1 month into the program, and then 80,000 the second month into the program. That way, you have eased the pressure on yourself. Okay, because you don't want to come up with the excuse that, oh, now you finally seen what you need to move you into financial freedom, or you want to give an excuse. Okay, you don't give excuses now. You take the 3 installment package. Okay, you can do that via a direct transfer to our Sterling bank account 0098999047. Okay, and with 85,000 naira, you get yourself started with the August cohort. Once you've done that, you send us a DM via our line 0701 564 7028. 0701 564 7028. All right. So who am I working with? Who am I working with? Who am I working with? Okay, who am I working with? If you've made your payment, you can type done in the chat box so I can single-handedly personally congratulate you. All right. Let me personally congratulate you. Okay, let me personally congratulate you. Now, seats are very limited in this class. It's not a jam-packed, crowded class. So seats are highly limited. If this is what you want to do, secure your spot tonight, and let's get you started. Okay. Now, who is securing their spot tonight? And who is not securing their spot tonight? Let me know. If you are securing your spot tonight, type yes, secure it, and send us a DM. If you are not securing yours tonight, type no, and let me know why it is not tonight. Why not tonight? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Let me know. If it's tonight, type yes. If it's not tonight, let me know why that is in the chat. Let me know why that is in the chat. Okay. Let me know why that is in the chat. Type it in the chat. Let me know. All right. So why that is happening? Okay. Why that is happening? Because I can see some persons already saying, "Oh, the first installment, Mohammed, what can you do for us with the first installment?" So here is what I would offer you. Okay, here is what I would offer you for the installment package. Now, because the seats are limited, I want you to listen carefully. Because the seats are limited, and if you come tomorrow and tell us that, "Oh, I have 85,000 naira now, I want to secure a seat for the August cohort," we may tell you that, "Oh, there are no more seats," or we may tell you that, "Oh, you know what? A lot of people are already in the program, so we've reviewed our prices to be able to control the number of people in class. So for that reason, you can either no longer register, or you need to update your pricing. Okay, we have updated our pricing and you need to pay something different. So now, for that reason, I want you to split this first installment to two. So you can book a seat now with 30,000 tonight. Okay, you book a seat tonight with 30,000 naira, and by so doing, you are rest assured that you have a seat to yourself, so that before the August cohort starts, you can then top up to complete this 85,000 naira here as the first installment. So if between that time the prices of our program change, because I'm saying the prices of our program will change. I said this a couple of months back. It happened, and people did not take me seriously. If you go to our website now, you would see 350,000 naira there. Okay, and that is our that's the price point we are currently considering due to the influx of interested persons in our program. So with 30,000 naira now, you can secure a spot if you really want this. Okay, secure a spot tonight, and then before the class starts, you then top up with 55,000. That then makes up the 85,000 required to start in August. 1 month into the program, you then top up with 85,000. The second month, you then top up with 80,000. So let's see who has questions in the chat. Who has questions? You can ask in the chat, or you can raise your hand up. I will allow you to unmute to ask your questions. But please, if I do not call your name, do not unmute your microphone. Okay, if I do not call your name, please do not unmute your microphone. So Matthew is saying in the chat, no, I am a student yet to sort out tuition fee. Okay, if you are a student, really, Matthew, okay, you are a student, but you are here, you are looking for how you get into tech, break free of financial cramps, right? If you are here, then you need this. Okay, so instead of saying you are a student, why not solve the problem now? Okay, solve the problem once and for all. All right, solve the problems once and for all. And guess what, Matthew, there are free courses that you can enroll. Okay, there are so many of them out there for free. You will not pay one dime. You enroll. But Matthew, do you want to waste time just learning something, or you want to get actual results? So that's my question to you. So it depends. There are people who want certificate. So you get a certificate, or I have learned this and that. Where is the job? Nowhere to be found. Is that what you want? Of course not. So Matthew, um, find a way to solve this issue that you say you have. Okay, enroll 30,000 naira tonight, and you have a seat to yourself ahead of the class start. All right. So who else? Who else wants to speak? Let me call your name. Kayode Glory. Unmute your mic. You have your hand up. Do you want to speak with me, Kayode? Hi, Kayode. I see your hand is up. Do you want to say something to me? Okay, no. Okay, all right, no problem. But have you registered then, Kayode? Have you registered? Have you registered already? You can actually unmute since I've engaged you, Kayode. You can just unmute. Not yet. All right. I like your answer. You did not say no. You said not yet, meaning you are planning to register, right? So why not tonight? I think that is the conversation we should have. Why not tonight? And if not tonight, when? When are you looking to register, if not tonight? Because a lot of things can happen between tonight and when you decide to register. So when exactly, let's be practical here. When exactly are you looking to register? When exactly are you looking to register? When exactly are you looking to register? Hopefully tomorrow or next tomorrow. Okay, Coyote, here is what's gonna happen. Most people, I'm speaking from a data point of view now, Coyote. Most people that tell me the same thing you're telling me now are actually able to secure their spots that same night. Okay, and I know you are not different. So Coyote, if you really want to secure your spots tonight with 30,000 naira, I'm pretty sure you know exactly how to do that. Okay, so go ahead. Don't let 24 hours be the reason you miss out on this particular package. Okay, it may come tomorrow, things may have changed. Things change very fast. So Coyote, secure your spot tonight. Okay, send us a DM. Let's work with you. All right, and I have something special for those who secure their spots tonight. Okay, I'm having a session tomorrow. In that session, all right, in that session, I'll be teaching you how to create a CV job matching machine. Okay, if you're applying to jobs, how do you actually tailor your CV using AI to the job you're applying to? So whoever secures their spot tonight in this session will be joining me exclusively in that session tonight. Okay, in that session tonight. I said it, and you can hold me for my word. Okay, you can hold me for my word. Now, for those of us who are still on this call, I can see 28 people on this call. If you are still on this call and you've not registered, why haven't you still? Okay, why haven't you? Just tell me the reason why you haven't. Okay, there is always a solution for every problem. There is always a solution for every problem, and you'll be surprised what kind of solution I will give to you if you are honest with the reason why you haven't joined. So type it in the chat box. Why haven't you joined yet? If you haven't, why haven't you enrolled yet? If you haven't, type it in the chat and let me shock you. Type it in the chat and try me. Okay, try me and let me shock you. Okay, so there is something I cooked, okay, and it is up my sleeve. Try me and see the outcome. Who wants to try me? Who wants to try me? Who wants to dare to try me? I mean, I've given you all the reasons to get into tech. Okay. Now I am daring you to try me. You are still keeping quiet and you are still here. So what do we do? What do we do? What do we do, guys? Kayode, your hand is still up. Do you want to try me? Okay, Abiodun Kafaya said the fee is high. The fee is high. Okay, the fee is high. So here is what we'll do. Okay, for you, Kafaya. Kafaya, I have a training program, all right, that would give you very similar results, okay, at a very reduced price. And we call that the Nebiant Tech Elevator Program. The Nebiant Tech Elevator Program. Okay, now this Nebiant Tech Elevator Program is specifically for people who are looking to get started in tech and get a job in tech, okay, with the most efficient way possible. So this is for somebody ready to do as I say. Okay, if I say A, you do A. If I say B, you do B, because it is highly efficient. All right. What you get is you get Excel. Okay, you get Excel skills. You're going to build two interactive dashboard. Okay, once you're done with that, you get to build a Google site portfolio. Okay, it's a website portfolio powered by Google. You build that and put those two fantastic projects you've worked on into it. Now, once you have that, you also optimize your LinkedIn profile. Okay, we'll optimize your LinkedIn profile for you and we'll teach you how to apply to jobs and use AI to optimize your CV for each job you apply to. I mean, we use the AI to analyze the data tonight. What else can AI not do for you? So we teach you how to use AI to optimize your CV before applying to jobs. Okay, you may be wondering, but it's just two dashboards. Would that be enough to get me a job? Guess what? After this program, okay, after this particular program, I would personally give you a 1 month access to a platform. All these things I'm saying, hold me for it. Okay, I'll give you a 1 month access to a platform. Okay, one of our partners, one of our partners, he will give you access to a platform for 1 month where you get 200 plus projects to work on, and you can add those to your portfolio. Okay, now the most important thing is that you are seen by recruiters, and that way you you attract them to yourself and you get the results that you so wish. Now, this particular program is for 40,000 naira only, Abiodun. 40,000 naira only. If you are ready to get into tech with the most efficient way possible in 4 weeks, this is faster. Okay. If you are ready to put in 1 month worth of work, this is the program for you. Our Tech Elevator program uh, gives you this, and for just 40,000 naira, Abiodun, you can gain access to this particular program. Remember to hold me for my word. I am encouraging you to hold me for my word, Kafayat. So, what are you going to say this time, Kafayat? Are you taking this, or you're going to leave this on the table? What do you say? Are you taking this or leaving this, Kafayat? Kafayat, are you taking this or leaving this? Is Kafayat still here? Let me see. Let me check. Okay, this is good. So fantastic. I'm not even doubting whether it's good or not. Okay, I've been there before. I didn't get something this good to get myself into tech. I suffered, okay, and labored, right? So now this is your own chance to get it relatively easier. So if you say this is good, Kafayat, are you sending us a DM so that we walk you through the next step in your enrollment process? Are you sending us a DM of your proof of enrollment so that we walk you through the next step? 0701 564 7028 is our DN. Okay, so with 40,000 naira only, Kafayat, okay, you get access to all of these things and you can get started. If you want to also follow in the footstep of Kafayat, guys, you can see our details right there. Um, the our Sterling bank account 0098999047 with just 40,000 naira one-time payment. You gain access to our Tech Elevator program, specifically for people who have just 1 month to spare and want to follow the most, I call it the most efficient path into tech. Okay. Hardly will you find something like this out there. You work on two fantastic projects, you get a portfolio, put those projects in it, you get your LinkedIn optimized, you learn how to you learn how to tailor your CV using AI for applying to jobs. You get mentorship, and you also get a 1 month access. I am adding that one as a bonus, and I'm saying, hold me for my word. You gain access to 200 plus projects that you can choose from to work on and add to your portfolio for 1 month. So that is pretty much it. Okay. Who is taking this? Who is leaving this? 24 people still are listening to me. Who is taking it? Who is leaving it? I've asked you to ask me questions. You didn't ask. I asked you, have you registered or not? You said no. Why haven't you registered? You said, oh, the price is too high. Now, okay, you have something that you can leverage. What is your decision? What is your decision? Don't forget, once you make payment, send us a DM on our line 0701 564 7028. Okay, so this is the point where I would ask you, or I would tell you that if you are still listening to me, um, I really, really appreciate your time, and I really hope that you learned one or two things from using AI to analyze data, the things we discussed around ethics and what the to-dos and the do's and the don'ts in using AI. Again, I hope to see you guys tomorrow for my exclusive session. That would mean that you've secured your spot already. And then August 9th for you to start your journey with us. So, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful night's rest so that we can be re-energized for tomorrow. Have a wonderful night's rest, and I hope to see you guys in class come 9th of August. So cheers, guys, and have a wonderful night.